All right, folks, we have a new model that just dropped from the most unlikeliest of sources.
What do you mean? Like Frodo Baggins?
No, you tell me. From Facebook, Meta.
Oh.
They've been, well, sleeping for a while, but after much rebuilding of their team, firing most of their team and rebuilding it from scratch again, they've announced Muse Spark. Wow. I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know what to say because they were trying really hard before and it didn't really work.
Yeah, it's been like 9 months since Meta came out with anything new. And when I heard of this morning, they claim, like as you see the benchmark number here, to be better than Opus 4.6 in the benchmark numbers.
We'll take a look. We'll take a look. So this is very cherry picked, I have to say. So like this is a blog post. We did some further research. Let's go for the blog post first. Very cherry picked results. So, but I do want to say here, all right, Humanities last exam scoring very well. So it actually scored higher than Opus Max. So Humanities last exam is built by a bunch of experts in each individual field, like medicine, chemistry, biology, making up shitcoins. These experts come up with questions and the AI has to answer them, and it's judged on if it gets the right results or not. So doing pretty well, scoring a little bit lower than Gemini 3.1 Pro, a little bit lower than GPT 5.4. So I guess if you want to ask some pertinent medical question on why you have a little weird pimple on your hand, you should still go to Gemini 3.1 Pro. But that being said, 42.8 is quite impressive. What do you read from this, Ron?
Well, I mean, when I read this blog, I actually read the blog. I like at first these numbers drawn to me. I was like, okay, damn, all right. Damn. But then they said here, all right, they have performance gaps such as agentic systems and coding workflows. So at the end of the day, what we really need is coding, which is
an agentic workflow.
Exactly. And Opus 4.6 is still the best at that. That is without a doubt.
Yeah,
facts.
Yeah, and I think this is where a lot of these benchmarks fall apart, is because first of all, foremost, if the questions are leaked, then you can train your AI to be elite question takers, test takers, because you know the questions already, so you can train it for these questions, right? So obviously they cherry picked quite a few results here, and all the ones that they beat Opus, and Opus is the best when they put it right next to Opus. Yes, right. This is like when we see Chinese models, they only compare to Opus. Here, putting Opus right next to it, you're like, yeah. We're almost. We're just as good here. So they acknowledge that Opus being the dominant figure in coding and agentic workflows, they acknowledge that they're not as good, but they want to come on to the playing field.
Yeah, that's true.
They're tired of being left, in a little corner. And saying, what are you doing, Facebook? And we saw Facebook engineers post on YouTube that they're using internally Opus, right? So now they finally have something that they can use internally, learn their systems. So far the tests are a lot more promising than what Facebook produced previously, and it shows that they haven't given up on AI. They show that they have significant amounts of investment into this to produce these results and suddenly come on actually onto the leaderboard. So if you look at leaderboard here on artificial analysis, you can see that Spark is now here. It's on the map now. Okay, so there's now a Meta logo. It's on the map. Right, people can think about it. All right, in terms of intelligence, but the intelligence is mostly focused on everything else. Right, not just on coding. But that being said, of course, we know that Anthropic has been talking about releasing a new model called Mythos, and that apparently is miles ahead. So we're not going to talk about competition here. We're just going to say, okay, where is Facebook, or rather Meta? I'm old, so I keep calling them Facebook. But where is Meta heading and what they're trying to do? So what are they trying to do, Ron?
Yeah, I think, of course, Opus much better. But where does Muse Spark position itself?
Everywhere. They shove it everywhere down our throats. Every single app that Facebook just deployed. Mark Zuckerberg shouting there, just Put it on everywhere. Facebook, put it there. Put on glasses, AI glasses. Put it there. Put it Instagram. Oh my God! Thank God we bought Instagram, right? So shove it down people's freaking throats. So you'll see this pop up on WhatsApp. You'll see this everywhere. Just like how Elon Musk shoved Grok into X, shove it into everywhere. They are shoving this down our throats.
Yeah, which is WhatsApp, Instagram, Ray-Ban AI glasses, which makes sense, right? Because since they've cherry-picked multimodal benchmark to be better than Opus 4.6, of course, with WhatsApp, Instagram, and the Ray-Ban AI glasses, I think that has an edge there.
It's kind of quite creepy though, right? You know, like it's
oh my God, it's gonna be like a cyborg type thing.
Cyborg, like it's a little bit. I don't know. Those things still freak me out. I know one or two friends that have Ray-Ban AI glasses. You know, a little bit creepy. You know, like I don't want to go to the toilet with them.
Yeah.
You know, like.
You notice now people are much more sketchy when people are just wearing glasses in general. They're like, "Are you recording me?"
yeah, exactly. I mean, like, why are they on? But you know, they shoved it everywhere. They're rolling them out. You can start seeing them in your WhatsApp. You can start clicking the button and just ask AI anything. And a part of the reason why they want to do this is that the more users they have, the more they can learn from users.
It's like Claude Code.
Yeah, it's like Claude Code, right? Like they're building a profile. So all these companies, I'm sure Mark Zuckerberg realized this. He realized that he has a lot of users. They can be training data for his next AI.
Yeah.
But his AI sucks.
Yeah.
So he had to rebuild his team. Now he's going to shove it everywhere. Yeah. Now he's going to get millions of users because, well, you know, WhatsApp, Instagram, they're all users for him. And then once they train this on these users, they can learn user patterns and they can learn what they like, what questions they're asking, what's this it, and then all of a sudden, you know, you have a flood of, you know, intelligence about, you know, this weird zit spreading across the whole world.
So do we see Muse Spark being really competitive in the future now that this is basically like how Claude Code became smart, because all the pro developers and programmers were using Claude Code, and it exponentially,
it learned from itself, right? So this is a really interesting question because they need to start establishing their foothold, and then obviously they need to answer to investors who don't want them to be left out of the AI race. So by admitting in their own blog article that they suck, which is rare, right? Usually, if you look at the Chinese ones, when they release a model, they're like, "Yo, we're the best, right? Yo, we're number one here, right?"
Yeah.
But here, by admitting that they have performance gaps with agentic systems, coding workflows, this does mean that they're not going to attract developers, right? Just right off the foot, they're like, "Yeah, you know." Yeah, we're good at tests. That's what they're saying. We're good at tests, but you know, if you really try to use us, we might not be good. So I think this is where we'll have to see. I do think, okay, I don't want to be like a fanboy of any model here, right? We want to stay as neutral as possible. But Opus attracted all the top developers, which is when they started learning the top patterns and thinking patterns, and then started to make itself better. So I think this is where. I think in order for Meta to really progress well, you have to attract programmers, because once you steal the intelligence, you can get better much faster, which is why Anthropic's Mythos is so good.
Yeah.
Right? It's because they stole so many developer patterns and their way of thinking, their logic, and it learns from every single developer. So I feel like this is them trying to catch up rather than to outcompete. Yeah, I think that's the key here, and we see that like people are convenience based, right? So if you have something right in your Instagram, you know, are you gonna just click that Instagram button, you know, the Muse button right next to your chat logo, and then ask, you know, Muse something, or are you gonna just like close the app, you know, load up Grok or load up Opus or load up ChatGPT? I think convenience is gonna be huge here, so I feel like they will get their social kind of crowd, and maybe they can learn from that. But the issue is, it's like, how fast can they build a self-improving model, which is Anthropic's main selling point, right? They're saying, okay, Opus is so strong, it can improve itself, which is like why it built MeFos, right? Because it just learns so much and it just self improves that AI. So I feel like they're still behind in that sense. But that being said, convenience is convenience. You know, I use Grok a lot just because it's in my Twitter, and I just like
if I have any questions on X, of course that would be Grok.
Yeah, that will be Grok. But performance data wise, it's interesting that they managed to score very well for humanities last exam. That usually means that they have a high like a good training data, and they have like health, reasoning, but their agentic workflow is not too bad. Like you can see that's very comparable to Opus. So yet again, we do have to run internal tests for us to see how good it actually is and actually performs. But I do see having another competitor on this list means that we hopefully do not have one AI company that dominates everything. Right now, the race here is towards AGI, and if they have some super powerful AGI that self improves itself to a point where no other companies can compete, then we're massively screwed. Right. So a lot of people actually raised concerns when MeFos, when Glasswing came out. They were just concerned that like, is this the responsible thing to do, right? Or because Anthropic has essentially a monopoly on top programming AI, and they released Project Glasswing to allow security researchers to combat the new threat, which is AI-based security attacks, right? And the results were quite scary. Like I don't want to digress here. We're talking about Muse, but Muse is nowhere even near this level where they can issue, like they don't, like they're not gonna have the balls enough to say, yeah, you know, Muse Spark 2.0 is gonna come out and you guys need to be careful because you know hackers will use you to hack you, right? They're not at that level yet. So I do feel like it's just a catch-up game for you, Meta at this current point. You know, they need to produce some results, and they need to make sure that they don't completely miss out on this AI race.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So with that, guys, I know this is a little bit jokey, but I just wanted to make it entertaining for you guys. It's towards the end of our day. It's fun exploring these models with you guys. We have more videos coming up about new models. We're gonna have a Gemma guide. We just installed Gemma, so you can run that locally, and you know the whole space is getting very competitive. So we'll see how that goes. So with that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next video. Peace.
Shanana!